Hey everybody, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Just checking my exposure here. I'm on the EM1 Mark III, shooting with a 12f2, and I've been busy trying to replace some of the stolen gear, right? Not all of it, but just parts of it. And one of the things I was looking for was a vlog camera to replace my ZV-1, and I got kind of sidetracked, right? I've totally broken my one camera promise for the year, so we'll talk about that later. But I came across an open box used, like new, Fuji X-S10. And so, is it gonna focus? There you go. Fuji X-S10. And I thought to myself, you know, this might be a good option for a lot of different reasons. It kind of gives me a second body with more flexibility. It's small. In fact, it's about the same size as EM1 Mark III. I'll put some pictures up here and here showing you guys a top-down view and a front view. And then I saw that Rokinon introduced a 12mm f2 lens, if that'll focus, that is autofocus, and it was fairly cheap, and so I picked it up. And what I want to talk about today, as I tell you guys a story, is I want to show you guys the difference in stabilization between an Olympus EM1 Mark III and a Fuji X-S10. Now, before I do that, I want to tell you the settings we got going on and some of the differences. Both of these will be shot in Cinema 4K 17:9 at 24 frames a second at about 200 megabytes per second image quality, okay? I have face tracking on, and I'm using the dual stab function on both of these. Now, neither of these lenses are stabilized, but I'm using the in-body image stabilization along with digital stabilization, so we're cropping in. This is actually a little tighter. So what that means for focal lengths, I don't actually know what the digital stab crop does on these, so I'll ignore that, but micro four thirds, I have the 12f2 lens on there, so 24mm equivalent field of view. Then it crops in a little bit, so I don't know if that's 28mm I'm actually using. I don't know. And then on this, because it's an APS-C sensor, the 12f2 on this, it's a 12f2 lens as well, is 18mm with some crop as well, so maybe 20mm. What I want to do is a couple autofocusing tests with the face, and I also want you guys to pay attention to just the image quality that's right now. I'll try to upload this in 4K, obviously, if I can do that. Oh, does DaVinci Resolve free version let you do 4K output? I don't know. Pay attention to the image quality anyways. And they'll do a little autofocusing, and then I'm going to go for a little walk up and down the street, and then we're going to see how it is. Now, I am controlling the exposure on this with shutter speed. So ISO is at its lowest, and the aperture is its most wide open, because I kind of want to show you guys the difference too in separation in field of view on 12mm f2 lenses, given the different sensor sizes. Maybe it's irrelevant, but somebody out there is going to want to care. So right now I'm at 1/400th of a shutter speed. I'll have to increase the shutter speed as I go outside for a little walk. And I'll switch cameras. I got a mic, by the way. I'm using the Rode Video Micro again. I picked one of those up for 50, 60 bucks. So we're not using that dumpy Sarmonic mic any longer. Just real quick, when it comes to autofocus, all I care about is my face. There's no pulsing in Olympus cameras I've noticed. I can see in the screen it's got my eyes, so we're doing good there. And I just want to kind of pulse in and out to the camera and see how it adjusts, and I'll disappear. So let's do that first, and then we'll get to the stabilization test. I'm tired looking, aren't I? Not a lot of sleep lately, guys. Been a little bit tired. Just to be clear, I have the sensitivity and speed on the Olympus up to +1. That's like it's high. There's like a +1, a middle, then a -1. That's where it's at. It's on the +1. So this is the fastest that it reacts, at least at the stock settings. Okay. Let's pause this here and flip to the Fuji, and we'll do the same autofocus test. Okay. I'm on the Fuji now. And so same things, digital stab plus OIS. I'm not doing stab testing right now, but for the crop, you guys can see the difference in the field of view. And real quick, one thing about video between the two. On this camera right here, the EM1 Mark III, the mic flap is in the way of the door a little bit. So on the X-S10, it's not. That's a nice feature. But the two bodies, this feels better built for sure. It's a pro body. This is kind of a consumer camera. Anyways, let's do an autofocus test. Ready? Is it better? Is it faster? Again, both at 12f2, going back and up. I didn't do that with the Olympus. It's not fair, is it? And again, guys, this is a Rokinon lens, so this is not a Fuji branded lens, so it's a third-party lens. A little disadvantage maybe to the Fuji. I don't know. I'm in the Astia profile. This is what it looks like straight out of camera. Okay. So there's the autofocusing test. Now let's go for a little bit of a walking test. I'm gonna hold both at the same time. I think that's the best way to do this. Just one in one hand, one in the other. So if you see me looking around, that's what's going on. Let me turn this bad boy on. And let's walk out here. Wheel set exposure. Audio is coming from the Fuji on this. How are we doing here? Let me hit record on this. We're gonna go outside here. So real quick, oh my gosh, look at the lens flare. Let's bring this in a little bit. Let's dial this down so we're exposed properly. Let's bring this one in so we're exposed properly. Okay, I got them both about. There we go. All right, let's go for a little walk. So check out the stabilization. I'm sure hold these the same grip. We're gonna go for a little walk down the street. You can see how much tighter, not just because of the crop factor of the sensor, but also the digital stab is on the Olympus. So it's harder for that. But you're probably seeing that the Olympus is smoother, I would guess. Man, I'm way overexposed, aren't I? Let's bring this down. All right, let's go this way. We'll go to my mailbox. Let's do a little walking test. The stabilization of both of these. I would assume the Fuji with the 12mm f2 Rokinon is got a little of that warpy stuff going on. I don't think the stabilizer is as good. This is Fuji's, I guess second rate stabilization. The X-T4 is better, where this is Olympus's best until the EM1 came out. So I don't know, what do you guys think of that as I go into the darkness here? I'm way underexposed. So let me fix this. Okay, so now we're back on the porch. That was just a quick test of me walking. I was holding both cameras. Is this done recording? It is. I was holding both cameras underneath like this and walking with them. I mean, I just wanted to show you guys what the difference is. I don't know if it's even relevant. Who cares? Really. Just how much worse was the Fuji Stab, because I'm sure it is. How much better was it having the wider field of view? The color differences, the autofocus differences. What do you guys think? And what I'm thinking about is making this my vlogging camera for if and when I go on these vacations this summer and go on these like camping trips, like that records my little photo things that I want to do, assuming I get time to do those. So yeah, anyways guys, appreciate you watching. This is a quick little video comparing the X-S10 stabilization to the Olympus EM1 Mark III. You know, from a price perspective, you can buy this used for like $1,100. This is used more like $800, so they're not really the same price, but not too far off. They are about the same size. I would say this has got 2 card slots and some more pro weather sealed body. This is not, but it's not cheap. This X-S10's got a magnesium body. It's not bad, but this is definitely a more pro camera. So okay, thanks for watching. I'm done rambling, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.